Hello everyone. Whether you're watching this in your room or on the couch with your family, thank you for joining me today. My name is Leah Stachniak and I am honored to serve as the Valedictorian for the Memorial Composite High School graduating class of 2020. I would like to start my speech with a quote from the song People Need People. People need people when the highs get low. The world's a bit too heavy for one shoulder to hold. The strongest souls still wear out and the hardest hearts still break. Sometimes you ain't alright, and sometimes that's okay. So if you're asking me, people need people. We entered high school with our eyes full of spirit and our hearts full of ambition. So excited to see what the future had in store for us. But none of us could have predicted this. I guess you could say that none of us had 20/20 vision. If at the start of grade 10, someone would have told me that in 2020, schools would be shut, borders would be closed, we'd all take part in social distancing, and that I would have to teach myself calculus, I'd have told them that they'd been reading too many dystopian novels. And yet, here we are. We began the final semester of high school, and we could see the finish line. We could taste the freedom. We were so close to being done school. We were preparing ourselves to say goodbye to the teachers who've been a part of our lives for the past 3 years. The teachers who not only taught us, but supervised our clubs, coached our teams, and cheered us on towards the finish line. The teachers who told us unforgettable stories and would spend hours telling us about their theories of the universe. The teachers who took care of us when we were stressing over tests and who treated our injuries from gym. The teachers who we spent more time with than some of our own parents. We were getting ready to say goodbye to our friends, the friends who we've known for 12 years, who we watched grow from babies to adults. The people who we've known our whole lives. And of course, all the friends we made at high school. These are the friends we studied, got coffee, partied, and played sports with. The people who radically changed our lives and influenced who we are today. The people who created memories with us that we will cherish for the rest of our lives. As a class, we had some pretty unforgettable experiences together, like the first ever Memorial Winter Formal, the annual bike-a-thon, the holiday festivities, all the incredible athletic accomplishments, the taste of Memorial, and all the awards that our drama and choir programs have won. But let's not also forget the more subtle memories, like talking to our friends by the islands, studying at coffee shops, walking to 7-Eleven for slushies, gathering in the common area before class, random debates during lunchtime, and laughing our heads off with our friends. The things we will miss most about high school will definitely not be driving in the parking lot every day or freezing in the chilliest classrooms. It will be the people and all the experiences that we shared with them. Someone once said, but the most beautiful things in life are not just things. They're people and places, memories and pictures, their feelings and moments and smiles and laughter. It is these things that we will miss most as we head towards our futures. Although we are now professionals of senior skip day, these were definitely not the last few months we were anticipating. We were preparing for graduation, for that monumental milestone, buying suits and dresses, planning grad buses, applying for college, scholarships, universities, and more. We waited our whole childhood for grade 12. We had so much to look forward to. There were so many things and so many people we weren't ready to say goodbye to, and yet it all changed in an instant. We didn't have a proper grad or a senior week, or a chance to sit with our friends in the library or the common area or the classroom just one more time. But more importantly, the one thing we do have is each other. This pandemic may have changed how we interact with one another, but it hasn't diminished the importance of those actions. During these last few months, I've seen individuals come together in such creative and unique ways. People sitting on their driveways, going for walks 6 feet apart, group FaceTime calls, talking while sitting in separate cars, and virtually helping one another with homework. And yet, we are still laughing and living through this. I think the most important thing that this pandemic has shown us is how much we truly need each other. It has shown us how much can be accomplished when people work together and fight for a common cause. We need one another so that we can rise together and bring about great change to our world. TED Talks, podcasts, inspirational speeches, often emphasize the value of human connection, of community. They talk about how many world problems could be solved, from climate change to racism, if people truly connected with one another and came together. In Barack Obama's speech to the 2020 graduates, he said, "If we're going to get through these difficult times, if we're going to create a world where everybody has the opportunity to find a job and afford college, if we're going to save the environment and defeat future pandemics, then we're going to have to do it together." The most important thing that high school and this pandemic has taught me is that people need other people. Just like how the sky needs the stars, the flowers need the bees, the waves need the moon. People need people. This idea has been repeated in quotes, songs, and even scientific research papers. Often, though, we believe the opposite, that we are capable of doing everything on our own, telling ourselves that we don't need anyone else. Society often teaches us to prioritize personal gain, success, and accomplishments over relationships. It has convinced us that it's better to be independent and alone. And the truth is, yes, you can do it on your own, but it is a very long, lonely, and exhausting road to walk by yourself. Jamie Tworowski once said, "You'll need coffee shops and sunsets and road trips, airplanes and passports and new songs and old songs, but people more than anything else. You will need other people, and you will need to be that other person as someone else, a living, breathing, screaming invitation to believe better things. We need each other, regardless of how self-sufficient we think we are." For a long time, I didn't realize how true this really was, but I've since learned otherwise. Through experience, I learned that when I opened up to people, when I asked for help, and when I started letting people in, that was when life became significantly better and I was so much happier. The most important lesson that I've learned is the importance of people, of relationships, and of human connection. I think I've learned the key to happiness, and it's not about your income, your grades, your cars, your trophies, or your accomplishments. No, it's about people and the relationships and lives that we build with them. And I know that it's hypocritical of me to be preaching this, since I'm an introvert who's devoted most of my time to my own academics. But truly, it's the people that we encounter and surround ourselves with that make life so precious. The people who make an impact on our lives and the people we affect in return is what makes life something worth living for. People enlighten us, change us, help us, and give our lives meaning. As we graduate from high school, I hope that you all pursue your dreams, stand up for what you believe in, and remember the people who stood beside you, supported you, and who were always there for you. As we venture off on our own paths, let's not forget that students need their professors, athletes need their coaches and their teammates, authors need readers, children will always need their parents no matter how old they are, and you may not need many, but you will need friends that you can count on, and always, that people will need people. I will leave you with this last message from John Green. So here's my advice. Study broadly and without fear. Learn a language if you can, because that will make your life more interesting. Read a little bit each day. But more importantly, surround yourself with people who you like and make cool stuff with them. In the end, what you do isn't going to be nearly as interesting or important as who you do it with. We are the generation of the new decade, the class of the future. We can celebrate and realize the fact that we are not part of a fleeting moment in time, but rather the graduating class that will go down in the history books. The class that persevered through a pandemic and remained resilient regardless of what was thrown at us. We will bring about great change to this world, and we will do it together. Congratulations, class of 2020. We made it. We are finally crossing that finish line, and although we may have to do it at home or 6 feet apart, we will cross it as a team. Thank you.